Welcome everybody to the Retire Young podcast, and this is the podcast we talk about the financial markets, how they work, and different ways that you can enhance or upgrade your lifestyle. And today I have a very special guest with me, first Forex trader guest, David Warner. How you doing today, David?
I'm doing great, man. It's really great to see you again.
It is. It's been a while since we've seen it. October, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I used to be out there with you in Minneapolis all the time, and now I'm a New Yorker. I don't really leave that often.
That typical New Yorker, isn't it? Hey, this is the way we do things now, virtually.
Yeah. I actually, if anything out of it, I've gotten used to this whole coronavirus thing. It's as far as this is concerned, I've done more virtual meetings and classes, and I don't know what the new normal is going to be.
This might be the new
or when it's coming, right?
Exactly, especially out there in New York. You guys are going through some tough times.
Oh yeah. They had an article today saying we may be through this through September in some type of quarantine. Yeah, so it's tough to think about.
Get used to it, man. Yeah, so I just want to kind of dive into kind of your background and everything. You've been investing in the markets for how many years now?
This has been my entire adult life. My first job out of college was right into trading and investing. I worked for a currency trading brokerage firm, as you mentioned. So, not to date myself, but yeah, I've been in this for a while.
Yeah. So when you got started, so you went from like college to this brokerage firm. Like, what intrigued you to this type of market, the Forex market?
I knew I wanted to be in trading and investing. I kind of grew up around it. I had family that were in the financial market. So when I was just a new college graduate entering into the job markets, and I went to a Forex trading brokerage firm and got interviewed there, and I got offered a position. I went back to my family and my college professors, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, this is like, no one even heard of it. No one even really heard of Forex. Like, Forex is kind of like, it's always been kind of this market kind of on the side, but, over the years, like we've seen it kind of really explode. But the firm that I was working for was one of the first Forex brokerage firms out there, and they were founded in the late 1990s. So you think about it, like this is the newest thing. I imagine that we'd probably have listeners to your show that are probably like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Well, so explain, what is the Forex market and why would somebody want to utilize it for investment?
Oh, it's great. Basically, Forex is you're buying and selling foreign currencies, much like people are buying and selling stocks. The value of the dollar in your pocket is constantly fluctuating. And our goal is just to take advantage of those fluctuations and make money off of those fluctuations. I have a bias, obviously, being in Forex for so long, but it is this market is just driven by really there's two main drivers in Forex, and that would be the strength of the economy and the stability of the government behind that currency. And you kind of look at the world that we're living in right now, and as you just kind of gauge those moving parts, the opportunities that have kind of presented themselves, not just, since like the whole coronavirus thing, but as we've moved into, different trade wars and currency wars, there's been a lot of opportunities. This market is great for people that are looking to kind of generate some type of some kind of short-term income, but there's also kind of long-term plays in it as well. It's just it's great.
Got it. So with, everybody knows the stock market. That's what everybody hears about on TV. They don't really talk a lot about the Forex market. That's the biggest market out there, isn't it? That facilitates international trade, right?
It's it. Yeah, it is absolutely the biggest thing. And like, honestly, I dabble in other markets as well. And I think just my background in FX has really helped me understand, the stock market a little bit better, understand what's going to happen in the commodities market, because really in the end, it's really all about the mighty dollar and how easy it is to get access to the mighty dollar. So if you understand the Fed and what the Fed does to try to pump the stock market up and keep the stock market pumped, that's exactly kind of what's going on right now. The stock market would be a lot lower than it is right now if you didn't have the Federal Reserve coming and stepping in and just adding new dollars into the system. And so those type of those type of moving parts and just kind of understanding just the mechanics of dollars coming in and out of the system lead to fantastic trading opportunities.
Sure. No, you kind of opened up a can of worms there, because the dollar has been devaluing for quite some time now, right?
Oh,
Now, with all this, the Fed pumping, printing money and all that, essentially what they're doing is printing money. Is that enhancing that drop in the dollar as well?
Yeah, big time. Really, it's United States and all of our trading partners. They're typically, we're all in a race to the bottom. We all want the cheap currency. We want it makes corporate earnings look bigger. Just to give you an example, if say you were selling iPhones over in the UK. Well,
Sure.
when someone purchases that iPhone, that iPhone's priced in pounds, right? So
Yep.
now this company, our Apple, is holding pounds over in the UK. When Apple wants to bring those pounds back over to the United States, they convert it to US dollars. If the dollar is cheaper, it makes it look like Apple earned more money.
Mm-hmm.
And there is what the Fed has done just even since this whole coronavirus thing has kicked off. The kind of the policies and the moving parts they put into place, they've actually made it cheaper to buy and borrow dollars than what it would cost someone to borrow euros. So they're making kind of the United States dollar kind of a funding currency, which what it's going to do over time is in the medium to long term, we can probably expect, some significant dollar weakness.
Okay.
And then kind of see the trading partner currencies kind of go up against it. And I know this isn't a chart we kind of bring a topic podcast, you bring in charts and things like that, but we're trading at levels that we haven't seen since the last financial crisis of 2008 and 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And the rallies that we had from our trading partners out of these levels have been absolutely pretty significant. Yeah. So.
Yep. So now because a lot of people try to get into the markets, mostly the stock, but I mean, with how great the Forex market is, how important is it to have like a real strategy? Because you learn from an institution, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you learned how to trade and invest. Why is that so important, just to have that strategy, but also have some sort of plan and rules within that?
Yeah, it's, obviously you don't want to go into the unknown. You want to go into something with a plan. The way that, the difference between kind of an equity, like trading in the stock market versus trading in a leveraged asset class. Forex is one of the most leveraged asset classes on the planet. So
50 to 1, right?
Yeah, 50 to 1. So basically, I can take a little bit of money and I can control a large amount of money. The most important thing of all when you're stepping into a leveraged asset class is how are you going to manage the risk? How are you going to manage the leverage? And so you have to come in with some type of plan around that. You can go in with an idea. You can go in with like a background in technical analysis, but if you don't have any real risk management strategies around managing, losses, it's a double-edged sword. Leverage is a double-edged sword. Amplifies profits, amplifies loss. You got to understand it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because so many people just dive into the market with no plan, the buy and hold strategy with no plan or gain or loss, right? So that, it is important to have that to be into positions or investments at low risk, high reward, high probability entry points in the market.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of people that listen to the Retire Young podcast haven't heard about this. I mean, it's really good having you on the podcast because, your insight on this market. And I actually had the pleasure to take one of your classes. You actually taught me the Forex market. This was back in 2015, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's a while. Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah. So we've known each other a little while now. It's pretty interesting.
Cool.
So I appreciate you coming on the podcast here today, David. And we do want to get you back here in Minneapolis once everything is slowed down. Hopefully that's the case. And if not, we'll just be virtual for a while. Yeah,
I look forward to it, man. I look forward to coming out there again. You got a great center, and it's always one of my favorite ones on the entire network. So
perfect.
People. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for coming on the podcast, and we'll see you soon, David.
Yeah, my pleasure, buddy.
All right.
Take care.